If I told you that a 69-year-old woman lost 80 pounds without stepping foot in a gym, without doing a single structured workout, and without following some expensive celebrity program, would you believe me? Because when I first heard her story, I have the exact same reaction you probably have right now. How does someone at nearly 70 years old drop the kind of weight most people struggle with their entire lives, especially without exercise? And what shocked me even more is that the secret didn't come from some new trend, some viral hack, or some complicated scientific study. It came from something so simple, something so overlooked, something that the incredible Barbara O'Neill have been teaching for years. And before you think this is another miracle story or clickbait claim, I want you to stick with me. Because once you understand what she did, you're going to realize why so many people fail to lose weight. Why so? Many people can't keep it off even when they try. And why this 69-year-old achieved results that honestly, most people in their 20s struggle to get so. Let me take you into her journey, because it's not just inspiring, it's eye-opening. This woman spent nearly 3 decades trying to lose weight. Diets, pills, detox teas, low-fat fads, protein, shakes, calorie counting, keto attempts, intermittent fasting attempts. You name it, she tried it. And like many people, she'd lose a little weight and then regain it all, sometimes more. She had joint pain, she had low energy, her digestion was slow, her sleep was broken. She assumed everything she was going through was normal for someone her age. But the truth was, none of it was normal. And nothing actually changed until she stumbled across Barbara O'Neill online. She described it as the moment something clicked. The moment she realized she wasn't broken, her metabolism wasn't dead, and her age wasn't the problem. The problem was her habits. The problem was the way she'd been taught to eat, the way she'd been taught to schedule her day, the way society trains us to graze, snack, nibble, and constantly force our digestive system to work around the clock. Now, before I walk you through exactly what she changed, I want you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine your stomach, your pancreas, your liver, all these incredible organs that are supposed to keep you alive and energized, forced to work nonstop, no pause, no rest, no time to recover, just constant digestion from morning to night, breakfast, snack, lunch, coffee, cracker, dinner, dessert, late night, biscuit. Even if it's healthy, your system never gets a break. And what Barbara O'Neill teaches something so simple yet so transformative is that your body can only heal when it gets rest. Not just sleep, rest, digestive rest, metabolic rest. And that was the first thing this 69-year-old woman changed. She stopped grazing, she stopped snacking, she stopped eating just a little something whenever she felt bored or stressed or tired. Instead, she shifted to 2 proper meals a day, not starving herself, not restricting, not forcing her body into some extreme plan. She simply ate real meals with real nutrients and gave her body large windows of time where it wasn't digesting anything. Now, here's where things got interesting. Within the first week, she noticed something she hadn't felt in years. Her bloating reduced, her stomach felt lighter, her hunger became more predictable instead of constant. She started to feel energy in the morning instead of sluggishness. And she realized something: she was never truly hungry before. She was just used to constantly stimulating her appetite. Barbara O'Neill often says, your body speaks to you, but you have to stop interrupting it. And this woman had been interrupting her body for decades without even knowing it. But it didn't stop there. One of the biggest changes she made, honestly, this might be the most powerful part of her transformation, was eliminating the hidden sugars she didn't even know she was consuming. Not the obvious sugar, not the desserts, not the chocolates, but the sneaky sugar in bread, sauces, low-fat yogurts, breakfast cereals, packaged soups, salad dressings, even so-called healthy protein bars. And if you've listened to Barbara O'Neill before, she warns repeatedly that sugar is one of the biggest contributors to weight gain, inflammation, hormonal imbalance, pancreas overload, and slowed metabolism. So this 69-year-old did something bold. She removed every source of hidden sugar from her daily routine. She didn't obsess over grams or count calories. She simply made smarter swaps. Instead of breakfast cereal, She ate a proper whole meal like eggs, vegetables, or rolled oats. Instead of sugary tea or coffee, she reduced it step by step until she could drink them without sweeteners. Instead of bread with every meal, she had more vegetables or homemade alternatives. She replaced packaged snacks with nuts, fruits, and real food. And within just a few weeks, not months, her body started to change. The scale moved slowly at first, maybe 1 or 2 pounds, but she noticed something even more exciting. Her clothes got looser, her face looked less puffy, her joints started hurting less. She could walk upstairs without feeling like her knees were going to explode. She described it as feeling like someone finally switched my body back on. And the more her body responded, the more motivated she became. But weight loss isn't just about what you eat. It's also about when you eat. And Barbara O'Neill's teachings emphasized rhythm. The body loves rhythm, consistency, predictability. So this woman set a simple eating window, nothing extreme. Number 18-hour fasts, no 24-hour dry fasting. She simply chose an eating window that fit her life. She ate her first meal at around 10 a.m. or 11 a.m., and her second meal around 4 p.m. or 5 p.m., and after that, nothing. No late night. Snacks, no handful of nuts before bed. No, just a little something. And guess what happened? Her sleep improved dramatically. Her digestion improved. Her nighttime cravings disappeared because cravings happen when the body is over all day. But here's the part that completely shocked her. She wasn't hungry. She wasn't starving. She wasn't fighting cravings every few minutes. Why? Because she was finally eating meals that nourished her instead of meals that spiked her blood. Sugar and left her crashing after an hour. And this is where Barbara O'Neill's advice hits home. The human body is remarkably resilient. It knows how to lose weight. It knows how to balance hormones. It knows how to repair itself. But it can't do any of that if it's constantly overwhelmed with sugar. Constant snacking, late night eating, and foods that offer calories but no nutrients. So let's talk about something else she changed. Something most people never pay attention to. Hydration timing. Sounds simple, right? But Barbara teaches that drinking water at the right times can massively improve digestion, reduce bloating, help the kidneys function, and stabilize appetite. So instead of drinking water with her meals, she drank most of her water between meals. This prevented stomach dilution, helped her digestive enzymes work better, and improved nutrient absorption. And yes, it's a small change, but when you add all these small changes together, the results are massive. Over the next 3 months, she lost 20 pounds, yet she wasn't dieting, she wasn't counting anything, she wasn't pushing herself through exercise routines her body couldn't handle. She was simply cooperating with her biology instead of fighting against it. And the weight continued dropping steadily month after month. Her skin started glowing, her face slimmed, her waist shrunk. Her inflammation reduced so dramatically that her doctor asked her what medication she'd started. And when she told him she hadn't started any medication, she had simply changed the way she ate. He couldn't believe it. But here's something important. It wasn't just the weight that changed. Her confidence returned, her energy returned, her relationship with food healed, and she realized that losing weight didn't require suffering. It required understanding. And I want you to pay attention to this part because it's the real reason she succeeded. The reason she lost 80 pounds without exercise wasn't because she found a secret shortcut. It's because she stopped doing the things that were sabotaging her metabolism in the first place. Because what good is exercise if your hormones are out of balance? What good is going to the gym if your insulin is constantly elevated? What good is burning 200 calories in a workout if you're consuming 500 calories in hidden sugar without even realizing it? The human body burns fat when insulin is low, period. That's physiology. When insulin is high, fat loss is blocked. And for most people, insulin is high all day long because they are snacking all day long. This woman's success came from lowering the burden on her pancreas, restoring her insulin sensitivity, and letting her body shift into natural fat-burning mode. And she did it at 69 years old, which means anyone can do it. Now, you might be wondering, what did she actually eat? And the answer might surprise you. She didn't eat expensive foods. She didn't follow complicated recipes. She didn't follow a diet. She simply ate real food. Vegetables, fruits, legumes, nuts, seeds, whole grains, eggs, fish, simple. Meals that didn't come from packages. Barbara O'Neill always says, the body was designed to thrive on real food. And this woman finally understood what that meant. She cut out processed foods, not because she wanted to be strict, but because she realized they were keeping her trapped. She removed oils that caused inflammation. She cooked at home more instead of relying on packaged convenience foods. And she discovered something shocking. Real food tasted better. Real food kept her full longer. Real food didn't spike her blood sugar. Now let's talk about emotional eating, because this was a huge part of her journey. She realized she wasn't overeating because she was hungry. She was overeating because she was stressed, lonely, bored, habit-driven. She would eat at night because she felt like she deserved it after a long day. She would snack while watching TV because it felt comforting. She used food as entertainment. And once she shifted to 2 meals a day, she had to face those emotions. And something Barbara O'Neill teaches often is that many people are feeding emotional hunger, not physical hunger. And that hit her hard. She had spent decades soothing pain with food instead of fixing the root of that pain. And once she confronted that, everything changed. There's something else she did that very few people talk about. She started going to bed earlier. And you might think, what does sleep have to do with weight loss? A lot. When you sleep, you produce hormones that regulate appetite, metabolism, and fat storage. When you don't sleep well, your cortisol rises, your cravings increase, and your body holds on to fat. So by giving her digestive system rest through 2 meals a day and giving her body rest through better sleep, she created the perfect environment for weight loss. By the time she reached the 1-year mark, she had lost 80 pounds. 80 without gyms, trainers, or punishing workouts. All because she finally understood her body. And sometimes that's all weight loss really is, not punishment, but understanding, not restriction, but nourishment. Not suffering, but alignment with what your body is designed to do. Now, I want to speak directly to you for a moment, because maybe you've tried everything. Maybe you feel stuck. Maybe you've convinced yourself your metabolism is broken. Maybe you feel like it's too late. You're too old, too tired, too busy, or too overwhelmed. But listen to me. If a 69-year-old woman who struggled her entire life can turn everything around with simple, sustainable changes, then so can you. You don't need perfection. You don't need expensive supplements. You don't need to force yourself into painful workouts if your body isn't ready. What you need is the willingness to make small daily changes that support your metabolism instead of stressing it. And if you take anything from this story, take this. Your body can heal. Your metabolism can reset, your energy can return, your cravings can calm, and your weight can change. Your age is not the problem. Your lack of discipline is not the problem. The problem is that you've been taught the wrong things. And once you understand what your body actually needs, weight loss becomes natural, not a battle. So if her story inspired you, if it made something click for you, then maybe this is your mama to remind yourself that change is possible. Your mama to break free from the habits that are holding you back. Your moment to take your health into your own hands and step into the version of yourself you know is waiting. Because if she can do it at 69, imagine what you can do now. Your body is ready, your transformation is possible, and your journey starts. The moment you decide, it starts. And I hope that moment is today.